Game day's here, I can hear the crowd. Turn on the lights, fans are cranked up and loud. Red or blue, we wear it proud. Yeah, we love our teams in this border town. Chiefs and Royals, Boo Mizzou, Rock Chalk, Jayhawk, KU. Hear that drum pounding in your feet. Yeah, you're marching to the beat of KC.
What is going on, YouTube? What is going on, Kansas City? And what is going on, everybody? And welcome to the Beat of KC. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lucas Murphy, and I'm excited to provide you this video for a few reasons. I think we really see that the Kansas City Royals are actively trying to upgrade their team. More specifically, in most discussions, they're really actively trying to upgrade the outfield. They recognize that that was a problem statistically last year. They recognize that there was often times where maybe the top of the lineup is producing and the bottom support, which often was your outfield, just wasn't coming through in certain situations. So they did go out and they made some moves already. They've bolstered some things. They really addressed maybe a left-handed bat or a right-handed bat. In some cases, they acquired a switch-hitting bat. There's some things we're really going to talk about, and I think that this video will highlight that the Kansas City Royals, they're not specifically done making acquisitions. We know that they've been linked to Jaren Duran. We know that they've been linked at some point to Brendan Donovan. So they are still trying to make that monster splash. I think the biggest thing I want to get out front to Kansas City Royals fans is I think the market right now in big perspective is kind of at a stalemate. There's not been that huge signing yet. Yes, we saw Pete Alonso go and sign a monster deal with the Baltimore Orioles, but outside of that, there has not been really that levee-breaking type of move to really start to make things shift around. I think the Boston Red Sox are a big major market. They're looking to see what teams are doing to improve their team so they know how to really adjust. And the Kansas City Royals are trying to get out front because they don't want to get outbid or out-traded or whatever it may be with some of those bigger markets. So they're trying to push the agenda, but some of those bigger markets just aren't quite there yet. So we're going to jump in and really I think this video will really kind of culminate and give you a full picture of what I'm talking about. So the Kansas City Royals off-season blueprint continues to take shape, and one priority remains unmistakable. And again, we talked about that really in the open. Upgrading the outfielding while rounding out a roster built to compete for 2026 and beyond. And I think that is really an underline, a highlight. They've made some moves so far that are really kind of not only preparing them for 26, but beyond. That's one of the biggest positives I have with JJ Picollo is he's not just sticking to guys that are going to be here, whether they're producing or they're contributing to the team or not. He's trying to do what he can to make a well-rounded roster for not only 1 year at a time, but he's looking to do that for 5 years, 6 years down the road. He's making acquisitions that are going to help out beyond just 2026. So according to a source, the Royals showed genuine interest in signing all-star outfielder Adolis Garcia. It was somebody, Jack, when I interviewed Jack Johnson, it's something he mentioned, and I'm sure we've talked about it multiple times on this video, or on this channel. Adolis Garcia would have been a perfect fit. It's signaling that Kansas City is aiming higher as it looks to build on recent momentum. While a deal ultimately did not come together with Adolis Garcia, who would go sign with the Phillies, the pursuit itself, I think, is the highlight. A front office actively exploring impact-level talent and the work to reshape the outfield from the far to the inside. I mean, really what they're looking at is how can we look out here, big picture, make acquisitions to really bring it in and really solidify what we're working on. Why Adolis Garcia made sense for Kansas City? First off, the biggest thing for me is the cannon for an arm. He had an absolute hose attached to his arm. He throws, very high rate of speed from throwing guys out. He does produce at the plate from a power standpoint. When he is contacting the baseball, that ball is generating a lot of power. He represented an ideal target for what the Royals are trying to accomplish. A proven power bat with postseason experience. He would have added immediate middle of the order punch while solidifying right field defensively. His presence would have helped address two areas the Royals have been seeking to upgrade: consistent power production and outfield reliability. I think, obviously with the up and coming of Jack Caglione, I think Jack is still going to contribute a decent amount in right field. So it would have been interesting to see how Adolis would have fit. I think he would have DH'd some, and I think he would have played the outfield some. It's that magical time of the year again. The minute the boxes come out of storage and the first string of lights flickers on, everything just feels brighter. The smell of pine fills the house. The Christmas tree goes up, and suddenly, you're transforming your home into a full-blown holiday wonderland. Maybe you're climbing the ladder to hang lights on the roof, setting up those larger-than-life yard decorations, or turning the living room into the coziest place on earth. But sometimes, the Christmas spirit outgrows the space you're in. Whether you're dreaming of a bigger living room, for the perfect tree, a yard worthy of your holidays display, or simply a home that better fits your seasonal traditions, now might be the ideal time to find your dream home. Lisa Miller at Lynch Real Estate. With over 13 years of experience and licenses in both Kansas and Missouri, Lisa isn't just selling houses. She's helping you find a place to call home. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, looking to upsize, or selling your current home, Lisa makes the process smooth and stress-free. As a local expert, passionate about building lasting relationships, she ensures her clients feel confident and satisfied every step of the way. Don't wait. Your perfect home is just a call away. Contact Lisa today at 913-579-3246 or 913-369-3000. Or visit LisaMillerSellsKC.com. Let Lisa Miller at Lynch Real Estate help you start your next chapter. So if you're ready to make a move that matches your holiday joy, Lisa Miller is here to help you find that place where your Christmas magic can truly come to life. The fact that Kansas City genuinely was involved underscores a willingness to invest in a difference maker rather than simply just feeling the roster spot. And I think some of the moves we made, which we'll talk about, really kind of highlight that. So while the Royals ultimately missed on Garcia, they have already taken meaningful steps to improve the outfield. The signing of Lane Thomas adds versatility, speed, and the ability to play multiple outfield positions. He provides you a bat that has some power. I mean, the athletic option capable of contributing to both sides of the ball. While trade acquisition of Isaac Collins brings you additional depth, I think what he provides too is versatility. Not only can he play the outfield, we know that he can play some second base. And really, his youth and his, again, ability to play defense and upside to this group as a whole. Those moves reflect a clear effort to raise the floor of the outfield while maintaining flexibility for another significant addition. We know that because they've been linked to Jaren Duran. We talked about that. That flexibility may be key as the Royals are still very much engaged in trade discussions with the Boston Red Sox regarding outfielder Jaren Duran. Duran's elite speed, improving offensive profile, and defensive versatility make him an especially attractive fit for the Kansas City roster construction. I think the biggest thing too is you're trying to figure out what the Boston Red Sox are actively trying to acquire. I mean, the biggest thing is you've seen guys like Bo Bichette tied to them. They're actively wanting to go re-sign Alex Bregman. What do the Red Sox really need in a trade outside of prospects? Are they needing more additional starting pitching? What truly are they wanting? And that's where I think the hiccup is they've probably given a broad umbrella scope of players that they're interested in. They're just not fully committing to a trade yet. We know that. Landing a player like Duran would further elevate the outfield by adding a dynamic leadoff presence, an impact defender, exactly the type of controllable talent the Royals appear to be focusing and acquiring. The continued dialogue with Boston suggests Kansas City remains aggressive on the trade front and willing to match value for the right player. Again, I don't think that the Kansas City Royals are just going to give the Boston Red Sox a bag. They're not going to give Cole Reagans, which has been rumored multiple times. They're just not going to say, we're in desperation to go get Jaren Duran. No, they're going to make a smart move. They're not just going to overpay for a guy. They want to make sure that it's fair for both sides. And I think that makes sense in any business standpoint. Now, obviously, the Royals, kind of shifting gears just a little bit. With that trade, obviously with the Brewers, the Royals are actively still looking to add a left-handed piece to the bullpen. They obviously traded Angel Zerpa, who really contributed a decent amount. He was probably the first lefty to come out of the pen for the Royals, and he really had some decent time. And on the flip side, there were times where he struggled, and I think a lot of it was because they put a lot of pressure on him being the first lefty. He really came up as a starter and developed into a very solid bullpen piece. Right now, it looks like it's Daniel Lynch. It'll be interesting to see what other lefties they look into. Kansas City has created a clear opening for a left-handed bullpen arm, and an area the club is now expected to address, so I would look to see them adding at that position. Veteran relievers such as Andrew Chafin and Danny Cullum is still out there. They're still available at this moment. So they stand out as logical fits. I'm a big fan of Colum. I think he really provides, he has a very sneaky delivery. He is getting older. I think he's 37, 38 years old, but he still provides that sneakiness. We have some familiarity with him, facing him and with the Minnesota Twins. I believe he did go to the Texas Rangers as well, spent some time with them as he was traded, this last trade deadline. So we are familiar with him and what he can provide. And so I really think both provide experience, because Chafin has had some very postseason type experience. The matchup flexibility and reliability against left-handed hitters, traits that could really help stabilize this bullpen, especially with all the moves that they've made already in that area. The city's right-handed relief depth is very prevalent. They just need to add some left-handed arms. So it'll be interesting to see what options they really pursue. I appreciate y'all checking out this video. Hopefully that all helps and solidifies kind of where the Kansas City Royals are as far as making a move and why we really potentially missed out on Adolis Garcia. I know it's a big miss in my opinion. I would have loved it. I think there's a lot of pieces that are still available that can kind of solidify that loss, but it's somebody you really would like to see. The big questions too around him are, would he be able to maintain some of that power, especially coming to Kauffman Stadium? Would he be able to maintain, he's had some down years, would he be able to kind of rejuvenate some of that batting average and really kind of some of those X stats that have been solidified for sure? I appreciate y'all checking out this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, I end every video the exact same way. Have a good day.